It's all about quality and quantity on Brewsday Tuesday. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
Well, welcome into another round of Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the. Oh, I hadn't even. I started talking. I do that far too often.
Right in the head.
If you ever watch those. Oh my God, my gun jammed. All right. Well, you know what?
He got hit by both bullets, his and mine.
That's. I was just about to say I would never work in a
bottle cap
Western
control.
because
bottle cap control in here.
Yeah, my luck. The gun jammed.
That's fitting.
It was locked and loaded for a second.
Yeah, I had one happen. I went to the gun shop. The guy,
Yeah.
I didn't really think about it. He goes, I said, my gun, I tried to fire it, it misfired, and then now it won't open. He goes, it's locked and loaded. Whoa.
What are we doing here?
Yep, I guess it is. Always wonder what that felt like. Now I know.
Oh, good Lord. Well, we are in round 3 of Brewsday Tuesday and camping edition. This time we're going to actually focus a little bit more on the beer because
all right.
Let's be real here. We had a screwdriver and a Hardywood lager, which is fine.
No beer. I mean,
last time we had the seltzer, so we actually should talk some beer and got us 2 Sam Adams here. I've got the lawn chair lager. He's got the beach session IPA.
And in the break we were talking about Boston Lager, and a lot of people are like, well, I don't really like Boston Lager. I don't really like Sam Adams. And I'm like, I think it's a perception issue. But the guy is he's I guess probably the largest. He just merged with Dogfish Head, Jim Cook and Sam Caglione, and they're the largest craft brewery.
I think without him, the craft brewing movement wouldn't have the success it has today.
No, he's always been a driving force, and we were up there for the Beer Bloggers Conference, and he gave an hour and a half talk, and the point that I remember most was that when he started out, he was in the worst section of Boston, and he was basically they would make beer in this little building, and he would put it in a van, and they
down by the river
deliver it around. And next morning they go to deliver the beer, and there'd be a wheel missing off the van. So he started putting 2 cases of beer in the van every night before he went to bed. And the local people found that. And after that, had absolutely no trouble. It just cost him 2 cases of beer a night to keep. And then they protected his van and his property.
That's like paying protection.
It is like paying protection. Yeah, but it worked. So, but anyway, so we went up there and found out. I was like everybody else. I'm like, yeah, Boston Lager's okay, but I don't think a lot of it. They make 220 different beverages a year up there on a small system, 150 barrels, and they distribute it locally through the Boston Metropolis area, and it's really good beer. But the best part is at the end of the speech, he said, well, here's tickets. Everybody can take a tour of the brewery. And of course, we're all hardened, seasoned, mom's couch bloggers. You know what's going on. So we're like, I've been on a tour. So I turned around, the buffet line was like out the door. So I'm like, said to Huck, I said, well, let's take a tour. She's like, I was like, nah, come on. So we go over to the tour, and there's only like 20 people. And the lady goes, come on, down the hall. So we go down the hall, and the sign says barrel room. We turn right, we go in this room, and there's Jim sitting there with about 10 bottles of Utopias going, come on in, we're going to drink a little Utopias. Y'all been on a tour before. And we're like, hell yeah.
I mean, Utopias being one of the holy grail beers.
It is really. I mean, people make fun of it because it's almost like scotch. I mean, it's just that strong. It's like 18 to 20%. They blend it. That's why it's in the barrel house. They have all these big beers. They blend them together to make the Utopias each year. It's my dream. It's not my dream. One of these years, I'm going to buy a bottle for my birthday. I tried to on my 65th birthday last year. And they had a bottle. They've had a bottle at the cellar forever. The cellar beer store. And I went in there. I'm like, hey, Mike, there's that bottle. I'm like, what? He goes, I sold it last week. It's like you're like 6 days too late.
Oh, no.
So I looked online, and, there wasn't anything close by. I remember the first time I tried to buy one was $80. I think it's like $280 now, $300 a bottle.
That's devastating. So I feel like for craft beer drinkers, like we mentioned, without Sam Adams, craft beer wouldn't be where it is today. It's definitely a driving force. What was the first Sam Adams you remember having? Was it the Boston?
Yeah, the Boston Lager.
That's
And the thing is I mean, the Brewers Association, Craft Brewers Association, basically the top limit of how many barrels you could be to be craft brewery is always whatever they made that year, which I think they were at 6 million barrels. I don't know what they are. I could look.
so. I mean, essentially, they are quite literally setting the bar.
Yeah, they are the leader, I think, of the craft brew industry. I mean, I think Stone's expanded, but see, Boston Lager's been making beer in Pennsylvania. Like I think it was old Latrobe plant. Don't quote me on that. But they've been making beer in other places for a lot longer than anyone else has. So they have like 4 different breweries where they make beer.
So you're telling me the Rolling Rock is mingling with the
yeah, well,
Boston
Rolling Rock's
Lager.
made at Molson in Canada now.
What?
Yes, Rolling Rock hadn't been Rolling Rock for a long, long time.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
How long?
6-7 years.
Okay, so
It's a go-to for me.
So yeah, it's a
It's
go-to.
definitely a go-to.
If they don't have Pabst, I go for Rolling Rock.
Yeah,
if they don't have Rolling
if they
Rock,
have Rolling Rock, I'd take that over Pabst. They do have, just not to give, I'll shout out, TK's has Rolling Rock.
I love Rolling Rock. I love
They also have
Pabst.
Moosehead.
Moosehead's hard to come by.
Yeah.
Molson's hard to come by, actually. As far as
Yeah,
Canadian
I haven't
beers
seen a
go,
Molson
I
in
do
a
like a
while.
Molson.
There's
Labatt's.
Labatt's, yeah.
That's
Is it Labatt?
Labatt's. That's the
Labatt?
way I've always said it, but
There you go.
I
I don't know.
could
I'm
be
not good at
pronouncing it wrong.
pronunciation.
I'm not Canadian.
I'm not good at pronunciation.
You know, in all this time, we've not really done a Canadian beer episode. So maybe when hockey season starts,
All right.
we'll have to talk some Canadian beers.
Of course, I don't know what our future's like.
Yeah, that's something else that we need to bring up.
Drez is coming back.
Drez is in fact coming back. I know you're returning.
Yeah,
And,
sad. I'm spending a lot of time with Big Nate.
I've grown accustomed to this. This is my weekly therapy session. We get to get all the problems and talk about beer and fun things going on in our lives.
There you
So
go.
it has been a blast, my
It
friend.
has. It's been a
And
good 7 months.
maybe we need to just reformat and make our own show.
I could do 2 shows a week. I don't need a wife.
We, or let's say we just schedule it accordingly.
Right.
I could.
Back.
You know what? And I'll go first since I'm first on air. Starting again next week, I will be back on middays, and you and I can just get you ready for Drez.
We could do like the 3 martini lunch.
There we go. Now we're talking. All right. Well, this has been a blast. I have greatly enjoyed all of the time we've had together and the experiences, particularly these last 3 weeks have been just phenomenal. And I appreciate you for patience and welcoming me aboard. And
No, it's been great. I mean, we really we've had a good time. I think we've expanded our horizons a little bit. It's a nice change of scene for me. A different, you were less controlling of my diatribes against whatever it is I'm mad about this week.
Huck's gonna huck.
Huck's
You
got
let him huck.
Gotta let him huck. He might give a huck about something. Anyway, all y'all need to get out and do some camping this summer.
This is very true. Summer is
Yeah.
winding down. Camp, follow our tips.
I know school starts in 3 weeks.
It's insane.
Woo.
It is
Not
crazy.
for me.
The summer flu. Yeah. Thankfully, I don't ever have to go to school. I still have nightmares. Do you still have nightmares
Yeah.
about school?
Yeah, mine is always that I forgot my locker combination, or I couldn't even remember where it is. And I got an assignment. I can't find my locker, my books, which is true.
See-
It's really true in high school. I never.
My go-to is I'm somehow taking an exam, but I've never taken this class before. And I never had testing anxiety before these dreams. And they've started very recently. So I don't know what the hell that's all about.
Yeah, I don't get the locker thing too, because I'm a locksmith. I can open a locker.
I'll get it
with
open.
a-
It'll be
with-
fine.
With a pin. It's like, but no, back when I'm dreaming, I'm like,
Yeah.
I do that every night. I have like first half of the night, I have really weird stress dreams, and the second half of the night, I'm like, that's stupid.
It's like, I haven't been in school for 9-10 years now.
It's been like 30 for me.
It's just so I'm glad to know that's never going to go away.
No,
that
I get to keep that.
deep-seated anxiety.
That.
You know what? That to me says there's a problem with education.
Well, the other thing I'm worried about is I've been having a lot of dreams about people who have passed, my old friends, which is they're all good. Like I was looking for something, and my buddy Bob was my old best friend, and he brought it. I never saw it, but I said I need this, and Bob would get it for me, and then whatever it was on the table. It's like, thank you, Bob.
Yeah, that's pleasant. That I can
Yeah,
live with.
that's cool.
These school dreams have got to stop. Let's rate these beers before
All
we
right.
get too misty-eyed.
Misty-eyed.
I'll let you go first. He's Huck's Beer Buzz on Untapped.
All right, so this is my first time on the Beach Session IPA, Crisp and Tropical. It's 5%, 4%. It's a little early hot, a little, I don't know, for a Beach Session IPA, I would have expected it to be less bitter. Okay, it's just slightly bitter.
Yeah.
But
no,
if I'm drinking a beach beer, I don't want any bitterness in it. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm gonna have to give it a 4.
I think you're right. I think if you're on the beach, it needs to be a little more fruity.
Yeah, more fruity,
more floral,
more of the
bitter.
tropical, less of the.
4 is still.
Yeah, it's still good. Here, I will drink this on the beach.
I've got the Sam Adams Lawn Chair Lager, and it's 4.5% ABV. I'm Big Nate Danger on Untapped, and what do you always hear me say about lagers?
Yeah, you don't like them.
They're not my style.
I did my glass on. It's 4.7.
If every lager tasted like this, I would be a lager guy.
Oh well, that's good. That's
this gets a 4.75, which is the highest I'm willing to give a lager. Yeah, I better let Marcy know
that hammering you.
Yeah, she was ruthless. She was rightfully so.
She's like, Big Nate, you just.
But I
like the style.
Did explain. I gave a caveat, and I'm gonna be fair. I'm like an Olympic judge. But
that is
4.75. This is a phenomenal lager. It says on the back, for those lazy summer days, kicking back with a cooler of cold beers and good friends, try this crisp, refreshing lager featuring Huell melon hops from Bavaria with hints of honeydew and strawberry. And you know what? I feel it. I don't have a lawn chair, but I'm going to get one and then a case of this.
Yeah. So I took that all wrong. You said for the lazy, I thought it was going to be son of a
for the lazy son of a bitch.
That's how I thought you were going. I was like, you put that on the bottle?
All right. Well,
damn it. It must be a flying dog.
That's going to do it for this round of Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant Six Pack Store. And in honor of that and my time with Huck, with annual rate lift in the Night Sweats, SOB on 105.3, The Bear.
Theme song.